know what you need? You need one of those spaghetti strainers.
We have high hopes.
Yeah, right.
Anything that goes through the hole.
It's too small to keep.
Let's check it out. Called yesterday. Familiar face. Justin! Oh, right. No. Yes, in the mask. The other
Is that right?
we're still waiting.
I don't know, right?
Gosh, I need that camera.
Yeah.
Somebody coming in.
Go in the driver's side, okay? Go in the driver's side and lock it. No, no. You got a camera in there?
Look at all these guys are out here.
Well, we still don't know park, do we?
They all look like and
What that means?
it means that you
Well, I know how to find gold. You know the difference between a prospector and a miner?
yeah.
What is it?
The prospector has all the stuff that a miner needs, and the miner pays the prospector.
Well, not quite. The gold prospector knows how to find gold, and the miner knows how to recover it. Most people who look for gold are miners, and the way they become miners is they buy a book and a gold pan, and they go out and they look for gold. But they don't realize they haven't been taught how to find gold. They've been taught only how to recover it once it's found. So the true art is prospecting, and it takes a long time to learn how, or we have courses that will teach people how to do it. How many of you think most of the gold is gone? A few, huh? Well, in 1849 they mined less than 2 million ounces of gold, and in 1991 they mined 9.6 million ounces. That's in the United States. Who would guess why? Why that would be? Okay. Nope. Yeah, they know more about it. Number one, there's more sophisticated methods of recovery. They have trucks down the road here that's as tall as these trees, and they just take big scoops of earth out and they process it, while the miner of 1849 had to use wheelbarrows. But secondly, when we look for gold, there's been a lot of advances. We don't guess anymore. I can literally walk along the stream and find gold. In fact, I'll show you what happened yesterday. We use physics and hydrology today. We don't guess. Your teachers can explain what those two sciences are, and they are sciences, so we scientifically find gold today. Geology isn't a science, but hydrology and physics are. Yesterday, in walking up and down the stream here, looking for what we call low pressure points, that's where gold will drop. In other words, gold is in an ore, it's in a rock form, and it's in the earth. And every time it rains hard, these veins are exposed to the elements. They get in the water and they travel during a flood, and big rocks pulverize the gold ore, leaving the gold made into nuggets. That's what I'm wearing here. And the moment the water slows up, what happens to the gold? It drops. So that's why we know gold is found in three environments. One is in some tree roots. So the challenge is, take a look, which trees have gold in it? You'd be here 100 years digging them all. That's what the 49ers did. or we can walk along the edge of the creek and find certain clues to gold, certain clues to low pressure. And if there's a tree root there, it'll have gold in it. If there's a big boulder there, it'll be gold behind that particular boulder, while 50 others will have no gold in it. And the same thing is true of crevices. So we got gold in 3 environments: behind some big rocks, in some tree roots, and in some crevices. And that's what we do. We go out and, as I say, we locate it. And yesterday, while looking for gold, look what I found. You got to remember, I'm a professional. Most of the gold you guys are going to find are little pieces, but there are pockets here. Some of the dirt that you're digging is out of this hole and out of that hole down there. Both of those holes have gold in it. So they're taking the dirt out of there for you to pan, and that's what you're going to have out here. We've taken as much as 502 ounces out of one hole here 3 years ago. Last year, wasn't this school here last year?
No.
Last year, there was 300 and some ounces taken out just downstream. So this camp here is the first year it's open, and the reason it's here is that we was digging far back into the bank because there's been no rain for 7 years, right? So all the gold had been pretty well removed from the stream, so we was looking for new deposits. And in searching back into the bank, we found some old picks and shovels. We found a rifle, 3 pistols, a bank, a child's bank that had some coins in it. And on further investigation, we discovered where the fire pits was. This was a mining camp, much as you see it now. And what a fire pit is where they build fires. And the soil is black, and we put up fireplaces. We've had these tents come in here from back east from a manufacturer that's been making tents since 1833. So they made tents for the 49ers. Mark Twain's cabin's over here. There's an old covered wagon, and there's a tunnel. And as I say, this is very much the way it was. Grizzly Adams. Does the teacher know the name Grizzly Adams? He was here in 1849. And the owner of the property told us that, based on their documentation, that he first found gold down here at the crossing at Bell Mooney. They found a 75-pound gold nugget there, and within 2 weeks, you could travel from Stockton to Jamestown, and the campfires would light your way. He and others started moving up this creek, yes.
Is that a real gold nugget?
Yes, this is all real. I'm the white Mr. T. Take a listen. But anyway, yes.
Is it 24 karat gold?
22 and a half carat. Gold is 14 carat. Most of the jewelry gold is. But the gold that you find here is 22 and a half. It's very rich. How many of you heard about the 62-pound nugget? I mentioned the 75. Yeah, it was found in December, right, down the creek here at the Sonora mine. It was originally 300 pounds. They went through 2 crushers, reduced down to 60. They saved the 60-pounder. What else can I tell you? The gold country extends from Mariposa to Downeyville. That's 120 miles long, and when you get back to school, the teachers can show you the map. It's 20 miles wide. It starts down at the bridge as you came into town. That's the Mother Lode vein. It's the richest gold vein in the world. The drainage on the water system here is east to west, and every time it rains, it comes over these vein systems and it replenishes the creek. So that's why every year it's a new ball game. There's gold put back into the creek again. Does anyone have any questions?
How big was that nugget size-wise?
It was 20 by 30 by 6 inches. That's a big nugget. In that tunnel, there was a small vein that was followed. There's been no gold hit in it yet. It only goes back 17 feet. There is a shaft back here that produced, I forget how many hundreds of ounces of gold, but it's back up in the back here. And there was Indians here too, incidentally. There's Indian grinding stations down the creek. Do you know what that is?
When Indians used to take nuts and berries, and they used to take a rock and they would smush it into these holes that they made earlier, and they would smush it and smush it and smush it until it was all
Ground it up, and they made flour out of acorn. But there's a good-sized station down there, and there was a good. It probably has how many holes in it, Ted? Probably
5 or 6 in there.
yeah, and I think there's even more than that. So where you kids are today is actually where it all happened. This was an extremely rich creek. The claims here from the bridge up was 10 square feet. Can you imagine miners every 10 square feet along that creek? That's how much gold. It was just literally plucking it out, yeah.
Were the miners back then mined here?
Yes, yeah, this is very rich here. Now we're finding gold. We put 7 holes down here. We've hit gold in 2 of them. And as I say, that's where you guys are digging today. And then just yesterday, I found some gold along the bank over here, so we'll be developing that. So we always have to stay ahead of the groups that's coming up here. So we have to do our homework. You guys don't know what homework is, Bob. You do? Okay, well, our homework is going out before you get here and trying to find gold. Yeah.
In that little jar that you found yesterday,
Yeah.
do you know how much that's worth?
It's about $900.
And I haven't.
Yeah. This is a very good question. Give me your attention for a moment here, because I know, you know, as an American citizen, let me tell you something you probably don't know. Do you know that you can come to this county and other counties in Tuolumne, in the Mother Lode country? Tuolumne County has 79% of the land is owned by the federal government. Would you believe that you can go out and file a mining claim? And here's how it works. Here's what you have to do. You go out onto federal lands and make a discovery. You find gold. And you go to the county recorder's office and you file a claim. A claim is 20 acres. It's 1320 by 660 wide. And you own the minerals on that land for the next 12 months. You can go out and mine it, you can go fishing, you can hunt, you can do anything you want. Pretty cheap recreational property when it don't cost more than $25, huh? Now at the end of a year, you have to do $100 worth of assessment work on it. That means, you know, you've got to look for gold, and you pay yourself $5 or $10 an hour, whatever. And it's yours for another year, and another year, and another year. And I have about 2,800 acres myself. So if you learn how to prospect and you learn how to find gold, it's a very interesting way to acquire some good recreational property. How many of you knew that? Not very many.
I have a question. Are your claims along this?
We lease this. This is private. Yes, but incidentally, we teach courses on how to file mining claims, and we also sell mining claims for those who don't want to do it. But you can do that. Yeah. He's asking how much money I have. I guess I can tell you in this environment. I would be reluctant to say it in some metropolitan areas. I have on about $25,000.
Can you trade any of it in?
He said, would I trade any of it in for what, money? No, when I trade it in, I have to pay taxes as long as I wear it. Did you know that? When you find gold, you don't pay taxes. Isn't that wonderful? But when you convert it to money, you get the money. When you do, you pay income tax. This is why there's an awful lot of miners that you hear these stories, and they're true, many of them, that they have a lot of buried gold. And they take the gold and convert it only when they need it, otherwise you pay horrendous taxes on it. So there's a lot of that goes in there.
Are you rich?
Am I rich? Okay, now I can answer that if you'll define for me what you consider to be rich.
Lots of money.
Lots of money. Not that I care to admit, but you've got to consider something else you might be rich in, and that is if you're happy and you have peace of mind and you enjoy what you're doing and have good health, then you're very rich. And I'm extremely rich. Yeah. We can't, incidentally, the better you do in this business, the lower profile you keep, for obvious reasons. Yes. Yes.
Are you rich in love?
Am I rich in love?
Yeah.
Let me show you who my lover is. See right down here? This is good. Let me show you. Here. Here's my lover. This is Dinks, Twinkle. World famous gold prospecting dog. Been on television 9 times. You know what she does? About 5 years ago, I was on the creek after a hard rain, and I was taking my hand like this behind boulders. As I say, there's low pressure behind boulders, and sometimes there's gold. You take your hand, you create a turbulence. The sand goes to one side and you can see gold. It lays on the bedrock. I was doing that for about 3 hours and I looked behind me and this little dog was going like this with her paw. She had no idea what she was doing, probably scratching a crawdad, I don't know. But I looked back and she had uncovered a little piece of gold. She didn't know what it was. But when I got done with her, she did, because I picked her up and kissed her and loved her and petted her and pointed to gold. So she associates gold with affection. We have a panning trough out in front. I threw this nugget in. She immediately jumped in the water, found it with her feet, and went underwater, got it in her mouth, and set up. And she's been on TV 6 or 7 times. You get Jerry Graham in the Bay Area? Well, she's been on him 3 times. So this is my kid right here. That's Twinkle. Yeah. You would find it, huh?
What happened to the... Oh, I'm sorry.
I can't hear you. Can you have a chunk of gold? Bob, can you have a chunk of gold? He can if he finds it, right? Okay.
What happened to the miner's claims on the original?
Yeah, see, if you don't do your assessment work at the end of the year, it automatically reverts back to public domain. And that's why there's claims there all the time, opening up and closing. But you folks that like the outdoors should give that some thought. Yeah.
When did you first start gold mining?
Gold mining about 25 years ago, but I used to dream about this when I was your age back in Indiana. I too studied the gold rush history. And the reason I started all of this is I came out here chasing a dream. And I found the dream didn't exist. There was no trespassing signs on private property. People wouldn't let you come out. I didn't know how to find it anyway. And it was very difficult for me to learn how to find gold. Now Bob, would you raise your hand? Bob is our lead guide. Bob's been doing this since he's 12 years old. He learned it a different way. He learned to survive during the Depression. This is how they made their living, and this is how Bob found gold. If he didn't find gold, he wouldn't eat. As I say, I was chasing a dream, and what you see here is a fulfillment of my dream, and I'm doing that. Yes.
You have samples.
This kid wants free samples. Bob, you got any free samples?
Fresh out, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it true, Ralph, if you're just along any of the rivers, like American, Sacramento, that if you're just recreationally panning, that you're able to do that?
Fine.
Even if it's on someone else's? If you're just
No.
along any river?
No. You can't assume that along a river is... the only rivers in California that you could do that in would be rivers that are navigable. That means, I guess, that you can get big boats on. That belongs to the state. Other rivers, the claims go right out into the rivers. So if you wanted to go out on your own, your best bet is to rent a mining claim. That's the simplest. We have claims that you can rent. They're not expensive. It's $25 to register here a year. Bring your family out. It's $10 per adult per day. Kids are free. Beyond that, you would have to find land that's open to the public, and the only place I could tell you is down by the bridge as you come into town. There's hundreds of people go there, and there's some property up by the park in Sonora. Otherwise, this creek is all private. Yes.
How much gold do you find a day?
How much gold do you usually find a day? Oh, I don't. Sometimes you don't find hardly any gold. Other times. Yeah, it's kind of hard to answer. As soon as I shut up. And, yeah.
You're talking about the bridge coming into town.
Yeah.
People can there just because it's a state freeway
It's
right
county.
away.
It's county property.
It's just a right of way, though. It's the highway.
Well, no. That used to be the case. There used to be 10 feet on each side of a bridge that was open, but the counties have changed that. It's greater and lesser than that now. You can go there because the county owns, no, I think Sonora Mine. Anyway, whoever owns it gives you permission from the bridge upstream about 200 feet. And then there's a park in Sonora. The creek goes through the park. It goes down, intersects another creek called Sonora Creek where the fairgrounds is. And that's open also. Oh, the Stanislaus River's open, but it's being flooded. That's about the only places I know that are open.
So you could accidentally be panning on somebody's claim.
Yeah,
without
you
even
could.
knowing it.
Yeah,
Get
it's,
shot.
yeah. Some people, you know, your biggest danger is not from the miner, it's from the pot grower. If you get onto their property, then they're pretty violent, and you never know. So it's best to check with our office if you're up here, and we'll try to tell you some places that we know. Yeah.
What if you like pan on somebody's property and you find this big nugget?
What happens? The nugget belongs to them. And this happens a lot. We get private people that want us to come on their property. We don't do it anymore. I used to when I first got here. And they're going to split the gold with us. And we find gold and they change their mind. So we don't do it no more.
How much notice do you need to rent a plane?
Oh, not too much. You just come up. We always have something available.
Is it lots of driving distance on that?
Uh,
They're pretty, I mean, as far as vehicles go.
Well, the distance to a mining claim, we have some claims on Jackass Creek and Deer Creek. You can drive right to Deer Creek. Jackass Creek's probably 40 minutes from here. And it's a good road. I mean, it's gravel, but it's a good road. It's year-round. Thousands of people come up here in the summer. These mountains are loaded with people having up here, you know. You can stay on our claims overnight. We don't charge anything extra. Yes.
Did you find all that gold yourself?
I found 95% of it, yeah. Any other questions? Okay, now, I'm going to introduce you to Tex, and I think what he's going to tell you is that, I'll just kind of introduce it for you, is that to work with a large group like this, we need some cooperation. We want everybody to find gold. There's no reason you shouldn't if you'll follow our instructions. However, if you get out there and you pan improperly, you're going to throw the gold right back into the creek. But I think Tex is going to tell you that he would like to get the adults together, work with groups. You know, ever how many adults you got, I don't know, working with 5 people. If we can teach the adults first the basics of panning, then another adult, maybe, or 2, whatever it takes, to supervise the children in the meantime. We'll take the adults down, gather you in a circle, go step by step. There's 4 steps, and then spread you out, and you get so many kids with each adult, and then the guides can work with the adults. We can't work with each individual kid because we're going to neglect somebody. Does that sound like a good idea?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, let me introduce you to Tex, and he'll give you all the other information.
Okay, fine.
so-
You go ahead.
Half of this group will pan today. The other
Right.
half tomorrow, right?
Okay, the half that's going to stay here is the half I need to talk to.
Okay.
The other half we'll let you go, and I'll talk to you tomorrow about the same thing, okay?
Now we're going to the campground.
We're going to go up towards Sonora, but do not take the Sonora exit. Stay right onto the road. You're going to come to a stop, first stoplight, the second stoplight. After the second stoplight, you make a right turn on Tuolumne Road. Tuolumne Road. Okay.
We have maps.
It just wasn't.
Let me just explain. You go all the way to the end, that's 12 miles. You make a left turn, the road's going to split, you want to go to the right. Follow the signs to Cherry Lake and Basin Creek. That road's going to wind down a canyon. Got some beautiful scenery. It's a safe road, big logging trucks use it. Just hope you don't meet one coming around the corner.
That's not reassuring.
No, I know.
So what's the right way? Who has to back up?
Yeah. Okay.
It won't matter.
Okay, then you're going to come down, and at the bottom, you'll start going along the river. Continue going, just keep right on the road, and then eventually you'll cross the river. There's a bridge, and right there immediately is the campground. Now, if you continue going, if you miss this campground, you're going to have a beautiful drive. Because you're going to go way up into the mountains, into dirt roads, and unless you have a forestry map, you're going to be late for dinner. So just, you know, pay attention to where you are.
So if you start to ascend,
Yeah,
you're out of it.
yeah. Just try to remember. The sign, see, the state don't let them put a big sign. It says the campground is there. The basin is there. River Ranch campground. So just drive a little slow. Now that's about 40 minutes.
Campground, we try to be there. It's a 40-minute drive, so
We're going to waste 2 hours.
try to get there at 5.
Billy, you and Allie come with me.
Group that's going to pan today, I need you over here.
No, Charlene, over here.
Stay here. Listen up.
Where's Cooper?
Cooper! I want you up front because the adults have been in. You won't be able to
We just need a guy that owned dogs for years and years and years. Nobody worked with him. Until this last few years. He used to have a dairy business.
They're giving hands. Get another
Ralph, the group that's going to stay here, can I have your attention, please? With this many kids here, we want you all to have fun.
It's not Mr.
There's going to be some rules and regulations we're going to have to follow out here. Number 1, we don't want nobody running up and down the creek out here. That's a good way for somebody to get hurt. So we'll have no running on the creek, okay? Number 2, no rock throwing. Now, I'll tell you what, if I see somebody throwing rocks, they're going to be sitting on the bank. We've had somebody a long time ago get hit in the eye and like lost the eye on account of it. So if you want to see a guy get real mad, and see one of us throwing a rock out here, we're going to be real mad. We want you to have fun. We want you to find gold. You can walk. There's water. We're going to try to stay on this side of the creek. So we're going to be operating right now. Bob, we're going to try to get the adults and grouped here. We can do it either 2 ways here. We're going to take the adults and try to get you grouped off. You know which kids are with y'all, right? You all come in cars and everything, so you got your group. Bob and them will show you how to pan. While Bob is showing you how to pan, the kids can walk around and look around a little bit at the camp. Now when I say walk around, look around, that's what I mean. Don't be grabbing a lot of this stuff. A lot of this stuff is old, real old stuff. But you're welcome to look around and enjoy yourself, okay? Now then, once we get through with the adults, then we're going to start in panning. It ain't going to take us that long. And I tell you what, we're going to find some gold. I know it. I see it in your eyes already. I know there's gold in these there hills. But I've got to tell you something now. I've got to ask you a question. This is just for the kids. We don't care about the adults here. Now, after you find all that gold, I get to keep it, right?
No!
Well, why? It's my gold.
No!
Oh, well,
Why do you think we came here to pan?
so I could get some gold.
Yeah, right!
Well, how am I going to have any bacon and beans tonight if I don't have...
Simple, you do it!
Oh, I'm getting too old to do it.
Yeah!
Okay, the adults, if you'll get with Bob, Murray over there, he'll give you a demonstration. The kids, you're free to walk.
Okay, may I see your hand over second? There's, for the youngsters, we have the smaller pan. This is too much weight for them, and therefore it's not comfortable to work with. So the makeup is the same. Rings halfway around the pan are to be used outward from you.
You can demonstrate with that if it's easier for you.
Okay. No, this is easier for me.
Sure.
Okay. Okay, I break it down in 3 steps. The first one, find the depth of water to submerge the pan below the surface.
Hey, watch out, water's under there!
Quite important.
Get out of here!
Hey!
Wow, claim jumpers.
With guns already.
All right.
I think she is.
Whoa, they're just taking over.
Go home, not the coffee.
Java net there, huh?
Hey, get over there! You're my plane! You idiot! You idiot! Oh, shit! Yeah! My job, Get out of here! Get out of here! Get out! Get out of here! Go get me! Go get me! Hey! Hey! Get out of there! Get out of there! That's ours! No, you ain't! Oh, did I get him? No?
I did.
How many are there? Two, I think. Two? Can you see him? I can see one of them. Is there two for sure? Not ammo. Go, go. I got him. Get him up. Get him up. Got him. Get him up. Don't try it. Let me check on him. Come here, guy. Let's go. Yes, he did. Yeah.
You're gonna get shot.
That's it. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Around somewhere. I got it! Call the sheriff!
Yeah, I'd be in about 6 pieces if I tried that.
He's out of,
Maybe more.
It'll be one show a month, too.
You're gonna have to hang him. That's your show. Thank you. Tony. Mary.
Let me get on this before I forget.
You want to go into acting now?
Them outward from you. 3 steps. The first one, dissolving the material. While you're doing so, wash off the large rocks. No throwing rocks, kids. Just simply dump them alongside the pan. Sometimes you have to do that. You can use your fingers like so, if you wish, and that works well. Take a quick look, eliminate them. By the way, if you have any trouble dissolving that material, some of you younger people, or possibly some of the ladies, get a stone similar to what I have here, anything that resembles anything like that, and simply stir the material up to further dissolve it. Along with the first step, the pan is flat, always in the water. You can be real vigorous at this point because you're further dissolving the material, making anything heavy go downward in the pan, and eliminating the mud, roots, and anything light, which you want to get rid of anyway. When you hear the material rattling on the bottom of the pan, you know that's been done. The second step, and the one that the folks have the most problem with, is what we call sweeping it out. Tip the pan down not too deep in the water, push it gently from you works well. Do that 3 or 4 times, depending on what you see. Leave the pan, concentrate the material back down. A side wrist action works well and sweet. The reason that people have the most problem with this is they can see the gold going out. I can converse with you, I can tell what's leaving the pan, what's left. I don't have to look at the pan. And all you need is about 58 years of it.
That's all. And you'll be all set.
I have done it quite often in the fairs with a blindfold, so if it didn't work, I'd turn out to, a piece of gold put on top of the dirt for something immediately covered without seeing. Okay, try to keep the material in that position, up close to the end of the pan. But don't, when you're concentrating it down, let me get clear water where you can see. You see it walking out? If I continue that, everything would leave the pan, everything gold included. Keep it up close to the end, but don't allow it to go out until you're ready to sweep it out. Keep the material in that position. You're seeking for anything heavy to go down to the deep part of the pan, which is there. Therefore, keep the pan elevated like this, okay? Side wrist action, as I said. At this point, we're getting quite rocky again. Use your fingers as a rake, pull these back. It's obvious that's not gold. Eliminate those, concentrate it back, and back to the sweeping. I'm going to speed it up just a wee bit now, but you should not speed it up at this point. I just want to get you started. When you get about to this position, once more, we'll remove these rocks. Concentrate it back down. Third and final step, make sure it's concentrated well, which it should be at this point. You now tip the rings upward facing you. Allow the water to go slowly up to the material. Some of the guides you might see as you go along have the water going this way. It's just a matter of using the water. There's no different way to pan. They use the water differently only. I like to go around in a circle like this. Any gold in that pan would have to be up on top of the pan, in that black sand being the concentrate. You see it already? Of it. You see it? Oh, okay. At this point,
It's not cold yet.
at this point, I want to continue this further quickly. In the water left in the pan, simply chase the gold over out of the black sand to a little pile. The vial is full of water, completely full to the top. With a dry finger, dry your finger. The vial is full of water. The gold is there. When it hits the top of the vial, down it goes. There it is right there. Now let me show you something quickly without taking too much time. The gold is in the pan.
There's the gold.
He didn't dump
This, you need not do this. I'm again further showing you how, with practice,
Patience.
It takes a lot of work, guys. You got to work it down. He started with a big pile of dirt, okay, and he's ended up with a little.
Yeah, we're going to. Sometimes I get my age. Oh, you want to keep it?
He didn't dump it. He still got it in there. Remember, it goes to the bottom.
I won't take any more time.
To the bottom.
But that gold could be panned down to the raw gold, doing it the proper way.
I see some.
You see?
Keep working it down. You see? Right.
I can see.
See how it's separated out from all the rocks and everything?
Oh, we got the vial.
You'll find it. Can I?
See, so look at that. Look at that.
Who's got the vial?
I do too.
Just one.
Get the vial. Yeah.
We got a bunch.
Yeah, we got a bunch of. We get one apiece. Okay.
Oh, I keep that.
See the gold?
Can I just put it on my finger?
Hold on.
Try to get clear water in your vial.
Look, water in your vial. Listen up now.
See it? Look.
Stick the vial straight down in the creek, and it'll be completely filled. And that's which.
Now watch how he picks it up.
Now,
You have to dry your hand.
who's going to hold this?
Okay.
You could do it, sir.
Give it to him.
Get in the habit of working over the
Let them
pan.
fill him up.
Dry finger right on top.
Yeah.
Stick your
just give him
finger
the
in the
bottle.
water.
What?
If you had missed, the gold would drop right there. You didn't.
You guys
miss,
get
I
your
see
pan
it now.
and get a bottle at the same time.
We have brought our
We haven't got a
Go
bottle.
get it.
Okay, give him
That's a deal.
Just give him a bottle.
It's got to be dry. Don't travel around.
Straight down. And that's it.
Once it's on the
Can I get
finger.
a bottle?
So everybody gets a bottle.
When you get your pan, he wants to pass them out up there.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna get clear water.
Okay, now hold it. Now we're gonna give it to. What is it?
Now, one
Hold
more
on.
thing. take a look. One more thing that's important. You're going to wonder how to see this. Don't hold the bottle up here or down here in the circle. Simply hold it lengthwise. Look right straight down. It's obvious it's right there.
Okay.
That way you know your piece of paper.
With your finger.
Go ahead. Okay.
Put it over the pan.
Over the pan. Just touch the
Just
water.
touch. That's in there. You got it.
Make sure.
Okay, now hold it.
Don't spill it.
Okay, who's whose
Now
birthday?
listen up. Listen
Birthday.
up.
Hold it. Hold it.
Once you get spread out, you're going to end up, you won't have, if you're across the creek, say, you won't have a vial. It's a lot better to get your vials now, because when you start seeing the gold, you're going to wonder what to put it in. If you get it on your finger and start traveling, the creek's going to claim it.
That's right.
Remember the vial. Don't dump it upside down. My wife was here last year and dumped it. After we had
He's got it right
tons of
there.
gold in it.
They're coming.
Go ahead, bring the vial. Oh, okay. Go over there and get the vial and the pan.
Get a vial first.
Vial and the pan over there.
Charlene, get her stuff. Anybody
No.
that doesn't have a group, I only have 2 kids without
Oh.
2 adults. So.
Don't forget, over and above you adults, you're not expected to be professional panner at this point, seeing one pan done. But if you could just lend a little hand now and then. There's 3 or 4 guides here, so you can enjoy yourself also. This,
Where do I?
yeah, I suspect it. Yeah. Oh, yes. Our job is not done. Our job has just barely started.
So you guys are going to wander around and
Yes, sir.
Thank
Hey,
you.
boss,
Yes,
can
sir.
we give this to the closest birthday kids?
I don't hear any of your reading.
You're rich already, Sean.
Let me hear that you're reading.
You see.
Work it down. Work it down. Look what he's looking at. Sir?
Sean, you got some?
I don't know this guy's name.
Okay.
Yes,
Would you tell the boy here that he's got to work it way down? He's looking in a pile.
I'll be over there in just a moment.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Brianna, how you doing?
Are those? Okay, just keep moving. Takes time to wash out.
Just push and pull. Just push and pull it out, okay? Now don't.
Come on, Kelly, let me help you. Here, take mine.
Well, it's a chance you take, honey.
Okay. Now don't pin old dirt out. I want about.
Just kind of feel around in there and make sure that you don't have any clumps of dirt.
Filter over the top, the bottom. Scott got a very little bit.
Some more water.
Over there.